In this video, we'll be going over some of the customization basics that are helpful to know when it comes to customizing your template on Showit. If you're looking for a more comprehensive video, then you can head over to our website and to our guides and support page, and you'll find a longer video from Showit themselves on learning Showit in less than 30 minutes. So when you receive one of our templates, we also have some guides on updating your design settings in the top left-hand corner. You'll want to make sure that you've tried to do this beforehand, just because it can save you some time when it comes to customizing your template. So if you haven't done that, again, you can go to our guides and support page and you can find out how to update your design settings there with our helpful video. So back to the customization basics. First of all, we'll start with updating your text on your template. So when it comes to changing the text itself, all you need to do is double click on the box and update here with whatever your new text is going to be. As you can see, sometimes the text box isn't quite large enough, so all you would do is just lengthen it out and resize it. And then if you wanted to center these together again, for example, you could grab this one, hold down Shift, and then group all of these together and center them again. If at any point throughout your customizing you want to align anything, whether that be aligning it to the canvas by using these here to put it into the middle or the center, or you just want to make some changes to the alignment of this group, so maybe putting it all to the left or putting it into the center, you can use this over here on the right hand side under alignment. This will only pop up when you've selected multiple different elements at the same time. So that's how you change the text within each text box. You'll just want to go through and update this with all of your own website copy in each of the boxes. When it comes to updating the style of your text, if you click on the text box that you want to update and go to the right panel, you'll see text style. This houses all of your settings for your text, so your color, your font, your spacing, and all of your sizing. So feel free to update this freely however you like. If you have a custom font or a font that's not already in the drop down here, all you need to do is just go to Add New, and it will bring you to your design settings page where you can choose a Google font from this list or add your own custom font down here with a WAF file. Moving on to images, there's a few different things that you can do with images. So first of all, if you want to move the image around just anywhere on the canvas, you would just click on the image and drag it around freely however you like. There's also something that you can do called locking your images. So let's say we decided that we want this image to be on the right hand side of the page. Currently, if we preview this, it won't pull all the way to the right of the page. It's going to sit just about here, because when we're designing, we can't see how it's going to look on an actual screen, so we've got this blank space here. So what we would do is we click on this image and go on size and position, and you can see down here something called horizontal locking on the right hand side. If we select this option here, this will lock this to the right, and it's not going to stretch the image or change it, it's just going to completely shift that image to the right hand side of the page. If you decide that you want to stretch the image, so let's just move these elements over, and let's say you wanted this to be centered and to take up half the page. And if you want this image to completely stretch across the page, currently, without any locking in place, it would look like this, and you'll have some gaps around it. If you wanted this image to stretch all the way to the right of the page, what you would do is go for the second option, which is here, which is stretching it and locking it to the right. And this will now stretch your image out, so it will keep it in its original place in the center, but it will also stretch it all the way to the right hand side of the page. This is if you don't just want to completely push the image to the right, you want to stretch it from the center. The final option would then be stretching your image across the whole canvas. So for some canvases, you'll see that we have an image in the center that's completely stretched across. We'll just move this one out of the way. So for example, if you wanted it to look like this and you hit preview, you'll see that when you preview it, it's not going to meet both the edges of the pages similarly to before. So what you would want to do is go back in and select this button here at the bottom of horizontal locking, and this just means that the image will now be stretched completely across the page for you, like so. If you want to add a new image to your design, then all you would need to do is in the bottom panel, you can go to Media Library here and choose the new image that you would like to add. So let's say it's this one here, and you can add your new image and resize it by grabbing the corners and moving it in and out. We'll just tidy up this canvas because it's a little bit messy. So for this image here, if you wanted to make it larger, you could just press down Shift and drag the corners, and this will just keep it scaled. Or if you don't hold down Shift, it will allow you to completely change the size of the image itself. So that's everything for adding images and how you can change the images in your design. Now, moving on to canvas backgrounds, I'm just going to undo all these changes. So moving on to canvas backgrounds, if you have a colour background that you want to change the colour of, all you would do is click directly onto the canvas and go to the right panel here and click on the colour box. And if you follow the design settings, then your background colours should be in 6, 7 and 8, and you would just choose your new background colour. So we'll just put that back to 8 for now. Now there's also the option to have an image or a video as your canvas background. So if I head into a page that I know has this set up, so in the Lisbon template, this is Gallery 1. If I click on this canvas and go to the right panel, I can see over here that it says media type is set to image. If you set this to none, it will be set as a colour and you can choose the colour. And if you set it to video, this will be the same, it will just be a video. So if you want to update the image, you can simply click on the image and then choose your new image that you'd like to replace it with. And there's some settings here that you can change too. So for example, you've got your size, so you can change this to be contained, so the original image size, and you can change it to don't scale to, but we typically keep it to fill, as we find this is what looks best. You won't be able to manually drag this image around, so what you'll need to do is use the position option in the right hand panel, and then change this so you could choose bottom center, maybe middle center, but for this one we've gone from top center because this is our most liked part of the image. You've again got some options for scroll. So this is currently set to parallax, which looks like this, which means that the image will remain in the background and these areas will simply just scroll over it. Alternatively, if you want this fixed, you can change this to scroll with page and it will just stay static and scroll down with the page. And then you also have another option of fixed, which has a similar effect too. There's a few other things you can change, such as the opacity or the colour of your background. This won't change much, so we don't typically change this here if we have an image set to here. And like I said, you can change this for video too and update all of the settings. So those are all of the basics for updating your template when it comes to text, images and background, but like we said, if you want something a little bit more comprehensive, then just head over to our website to the guides and support page and you'll find a video embedded from Showit themselves that covers learning Showit in less than 30 minutes.